Okay, welcome in today's episode, pre-holiday musings, mic drop moments, key systems for any church, and personal retreat ideas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, episode 40.
40.
Derek.
The big 4-0.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh. I remember when I turned 40.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're
How
able
old
to
are you?
still remember that?
You can't ask a girl that question.
Yes, you can.
Okay. How old are you?
Don't ask that question. 46.
So you remember more recently than I do.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I don't remember it being a thing.
No.
I remember
None of them were a thing for me till 50.
Yeah, I could see
50 was a thing.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
No. Yeah, it feels like you're on death's doorstep.
Well, yeah, you are.
Pretty
much. You are.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's like whenever not to be, but it's like when people start dying in your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yeah. So, but 40 for the podcast does not represent death. It represents life.
It sure does.
It
really does.
Yep. Good.
What's the prevailing wisdom? You need to have 100 episodes.
100 to even be a thing.
We're not even there.
We're not even halfway
We're not even
there.
doing anything yet.
No, we haven't done squat. But
here
we
speaking
are.
of, we're at the end of the season where we've done nothing squat or whatever you said.
We've done a lot of good stuff. This has been really cool.
Yeah.
I really love the conversations we've been able to have this year. We did something new by bringing in lots of outside guests who are also kind of on this journey, this kind of similar journey that we're on.
Yeah.
And really been great to get their wisdom. I think if people are just popping in, it'd be a good season to go rewind and catch up.
Yeah,
with
a lot
few
of good
the themes.
people with a lot of good thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think, we don't know yet what next season will hold, but we're going to try to pivot a little bit and do something different. Just, like we always do.
And we also had Clarity House this time around.
Right.
The Dave and Shane spots were just gold. I've just heard so much great feedback from those. Those guys are so wise. And
I know.
They're kind of the common denominator with all these guests, as they're the ones that who've like kind of helped each of the churches or leaders that we had on.
Yeah.
Have had some connection with Dave and Shane and Clarity House, and so we're really thankful for their partnership this season.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so it's almost Christmas by the time
It
this
is,
drops.
yeah.
So
almost Christmas.
I didn't have a ton of things, but I just thought we could talk. I don't know. I feel like we need to catch up on some things.
Okay.
Number
Right.
one, I would like to catch up on Wicked. Neither one of us, as of the recording, neither one of us has seen it yet.
Right.
Do you even care?
No.
Okay, cool.
I know you do though.
Well,
So.
here's the thing. Okay, I do.
Yeah.
Catch me at the wrong moment. If someone asked me, I don't know, or the right moment, you could find me in a choir right now. If someone just caught me off.
Just you're so
Danielle,
re-inspired
hey, we
around
have
singing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I guess
The
maybe
music is incredible. Yeah.
Stephen Schwartz, I feel like he's like our whatever, Andrew Lloyd Webber or
Andrew Lloyd
something.
Webber, yeah.
Like he's so, when you get into the music, the stuff that he has done in that
Wow.
is crazy.
See, I'm out of the loop,
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to educate me.
You gotta get. I'm not going to. It could be
Okay.
hours.
All
But one example. So Glinda, who's the good witch, quote unquote, always has the high harmonies or the high melody. Elphaba, who's the bad witch, always has the low harmonies or the low melody in the song. So I think one of the best songs in the show is called For Good, and it's a play on words I don't know if I've been changed for the better, but I know I've been changed for good.
Oh.
So it's a double, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they, during that whole song, are slowly switching their positions.
Whoa.
Where Elphaba then is doing the high harmonies at the end, and Glinda's doing the more bass rooted notes and stuff. It's just stuff like that.
Yeah,
and he
I
has
love that kind of
Easter
stuff.
eggs
Yeah.
from the Wizard of Oz and the melody, the piano lines and stuff. Anyway, I appreciate stuff like that. So I'm full on geek out mode. I'm actually annoyed because I can't see it till 2 days after it comes out. So I'm
Yep.
dark on TikTok.
Oh yeah, you can't
Yeah,
be.
no.
Yeah, you can't
But
get any
you
of
just
the,
innocently scrolling and they'll be
right.
"Bleh."
Yeah, here's what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, so I
Interesting.
don't know. And also, for me, Christmas, I don't know if you're the same. There's always either we're seeing something new that came out,
Right.
or catching up on an old
Right.
movies or
Right.
stuff like that. So I get really
Yeah.
storytelling and arty at Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, we were just in California and we went to the Getty Museum, and so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a different. When I'm in an art museum, I get really creative. My mind goes crazy around, and part of it, even the old stuff, you see stuff that's been around for a long time, But like I hear you saying that this has that effect on you. Like when you expose yourself to certain things, it like fires different neurons in your brain or whatever. And that I felt that just last week with just that art museum was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. So
I remember one time I was in the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I sat in a room full of metallic balloons for probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what am I? I couldn't stop thinking.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It makes me want to write. It makes me want like, it just fight.
And see,
I like have so many ideas.
Not to be cheesy, but this is not anything artistic. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Things that are artistic really do point me to the existence of God.
Yeah,
because what is the point of it?
Right.
It evolutionarily, it has no point.
It has no point. Why would we care about beauty? We just care about survival.
Right. So I don't know. Anytime I see anything, I'm like, oh man.
I agree.
Yeah. But so there's about 6 or 7 movies.
So listen, speaking of current events.
Yeah.
This 6-7 thing,
dude.
So we were on so here, just let me paint the picture. But we can't stay here long.
No,
Danielle, we've got work to do.
We're good.
But listen, so you had to call into a meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, because you were still dropping Dax off at school.
Yeah.
We had to move the meeting time up, and it fell into school drop off time. And so, so you're on speaker, Dax in the back seat. We're having our meeting, and Scott decides to drop in the 6-7 reference for Dax's benefit. And so he starts cackling from the back seat. Like we can hear him already going just with the mention of
his hands are up and down.
Yeah, going up and down. Just by naming these two numbers that have existed side by side for all eternity.
Correct.
Danielle. And now all of a sudden when you say that
someone was like 8'2".
Right. I mean, I just saw like on SportsCenter the other night, there was like a women's basketball game that it was during the day, and so they had filled it with like all the elementary schools in the town or whatever.
Oh no.
And like the poor girl shooting the free throws was to make it 67 points. And so she sinks the free throw, and they said it's never been louder in that arena.
I bet.
That these elementary kids like were losing their mind. So yeah. What is going on?
We've talked about the problem with my TikTok algorithm before.
Right.
Another addition into it right now is like kids, youth, at deli counters in grocery stores with their phones, or like In-N-Out Burger, just waiting. It's like it's dead silence, and then you hear the person just go, number 67, and it's like, what? They're freaking out. They're like filming it. They're jumping up and down, high-fiving or whatever. I'm like,
it's so funny.
It's so
funny. It's so dumb and funny. I kind of like things like this.
I do too. It just cracks me up.
Yeah. So here's and I'm going to share my secret that I think we have enough time before this drops that nobody will steal my idea before I get to do it myself.
No, I think you're good.
So, I went through. This is so dumb.
No, it's going to be
but
awesome.
I went through and found my top 6 or 7 6-7 verses in the Bible.
Like when you say it like that, it is dumb. But it isn't. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
And we're going to video me going up to some of our youth. And I've got little slips of paper that have the passage and then the reference that says, Matthew 6-7 or whatever. And have them read the passage. I'm their pastor. So they're going to be in a moment on screen, on camera with their pastor, and go read this passage and then tell me what comes to mind from this passage. And I want to see if any of them can keep a straight face with the 6-7 at the end.
I wonder.
Or if any of them will just call it out, like the thing I see most is the 6-7. In which case, I probably need to resign.
Yeah. Well, or what if our kids are too holy?
Right. And they don't even notice. I know.
And you're like,
I'll be very proud. Yeah, you
can use it either way.
I'll use it either way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I'll probably record my introduction to the video at the end based on what happens.
Yes,
and go,
smart.
I'm going to see how holy our kids are, or I'm going to see how, whatever.
It'll
be fun. It'll be fun.
I love it. Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy 6-7. Could we work it into Christmas?
We're probably working into Christmas at the Warner. That would be funny, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Countdown Own could work something out just for kids that are like in the room. Could be cute. Anyway, hey everyone, we're doing a podcast, not talking to each other. Okay, so normally this is where we would do our Reinventing Church topic with our guest and Clarity House. But what we thought we could do just to kind of close out this season is you've picked 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
6 or
we'll
7.
See which one do we get. How many we get to.
Mic drop moments from these people that we've interviewed. And so let's just go through them one by one and talk about them.
Yeah, great. So one of the first ones this season was From Sunday to Every Day with Trey Taylor. And he said this, he said, we need to teach people to hear God's voice. And this is in keeping with like something we've been talking about around here. And it's like when he said it, it just reminded me of this like deep conviction. I think that all of us walked away from our time with Clarity House.
Yes.
I think Dave might have been the first to say it when I was listening, where he said the greatest gift we can give our people is to help them discern the voice of God.
Yes.
For themselves.
Yes, for themselves. Yeah.
And not become dependent on someone else to hear the voice of God for them. And, you know, you think about just one of the greatest gifts that we, like when Jesus says in John 10, you know, my sheep hear my voice, not I hope they do, not I wish they would, not, you know, they do. My sheep hear my voice.
Yeah.
And so he just assumes that that's true
Right.
for anybody who, not the pastor hears my voice, but my sheep hear my voice. And so, you know, I think one of the things that has really convicted us in all the stuff that we're doing, all of the trainings and all of the things that we're trying to implement for our folks is to just say, you know, at the end of the day, can we make sure that somehow this points to helping people not become dependent on someone else to hear God's voice for them? And again, we need community.
Of course.
God, you know, people trying to discern God's voice alone in a vacuum is not usually a great thing.
Yeah, not great.
So we need that community.
Yeah.
We need the corporate kind of collective understanding of God's voice. But I think actually that's not the danger. I think the danger has swung the direction of, I don't know God's voice at all.
Right.
Hopefully my pastor gives a good sermon on Sunday and I'll get a good feeling and that'll be God's voice for me.
Yeah, it's like back to the high holy thing. It's like that. You don't need a priest. You don't need a mediator. You know, or well, an earthly mediator.
Yeah.
But like, I think too, it's like the how do you want to say it? It's almost like it's like a spiritual equalizer.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
exactly,
we can all
it
tap
levels
into that.
it levels the field.
Yep.
And you know, one of the things that I love about this is that it's not complicated.
Right.
And you know, we've talked this season a lot about these leadership intensives that we're doing, and it is one of the like moments for me in my ministry in 30 years of ministry. I'm just like, it's really simple. I've overcomplicated this a lot of times.
Yeah.
And to literally have an idea, a verse, a book quote, a couple of principles, and then build some questions around that, and then get a little group of people together and go, read these questions, and where does the Holy Spirit stop you?
Yeah.
Where does the Spirit convict you? Which of these questions does the Spirit bring to off the page to you? And then say, why? What do you think he's saying? And even that simple exercise is just like a baby step to going, that's the voice of God.
Right.
Like he stopped you on that question for a reason. What is he trying to get after? And it's like a simple way to teach people how to hear the Holy Spirit for themselves. And then on the back end, we can go, well, why did he stop you there? What is he actually trying to communicate? Hey, everybody else in this circle.
Exactly.
What do you think the Spirit, and because the Spirit now will speak through us to that person. And then it's just, what are you going to do about it? And then it becomes an obedience issue. But that like simple framework of just going, if you just had a quote or a Bible verse and a couple of questions and say, what is the Holy Spirit telling you? That's a simple way to teach people to hear God's voice.
Lest anyone think this is too simple.
Right.
I would say the first time we did the round of intensives, like within our own staff, just to kind of test some stuff out, they were all successful, but the ones that were the most successful and that still have stories coming out of them and things are still happening are the ones that stuck to that exact model. Because some of them were like, oh, let's add this in and let's do
teach this.
Yeah, let's read. And it was fun, nothing bad, but like those ones honestly were the most effective ones.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder.
Yeah. So
Really
imagine that. Get in a circle, let the Spirit of God work, do what he says, and we got church, we got discipleship, we got everything we need.
Yeah. I mean,
and then we trust him
and you
to
trust-
convict us
yep.
of the right things.
Right.
We go, okay, is it evangelism time? Then he's going to convict us
Right.
of those people that we need to reach out to.
Right.
Is
Right.
it lean in deeper learning time? We're going to trust that he's going to convict us of that in the moment. And
Right.
so we can write all the curriculums we want, and in the end, the Spirit of God is the teacher.
Yeah. Good.
So, yeah.
All right. Second one is from Phil Eubank. This is when we're talking about moving from complexity to clarity. And he said, put the cookies on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, I love
That's so funny.
it's
Yeah.
mic drop moment. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about here. Mic drop moments. I just think, what a great picture
Yes.
to say, and it kind of goes with what we were just talking
Yeah.
about, but like, have we made discipleship too complicated? Have we made these ideas too complicated so that people think it's a master's level thing and I'm not a master's level Christian versus going, actually, it's really simple.
Yeah.
And the picture of like putting the cookies on the bottom shelf
Yep.
so that anybody can reach them, I just think is a really, really clarifying call
Yes.
to pastors and church leaders to go, don't overcomplicate.
Right. And I think, too, this might be taking the metaphor too far, but when I was rereading it, I was thinking about, so a lot of parents, I think, do this. Dax has like an area in our kitchen, like a shelf area that he can, anytime he wants anything from that area on the shelf, the area in the fridge, he can have it. So like different crackers, fruit, stuff like that. So I've done the work of, here are the things.
Curating.
Yeah, I've curated a meal plan for him, snack plan.
Right.
So I don't have to, worry. And it's at his level. He can get his stuff, climb up on a counter, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was just thinking like that's kind of the church's part is like, you don't just like throw open cookies on the shelf, but you're like, put the cookie jar. This is the jar.
Right.
This is how we're helping you.
Right.
And of course people can do what they want, but like, I just love that clarity.
Yeah, I think it's good. And, again, like you just said, people can do what they want. I mean, people have access to every amount of information they want to have access to these days.
Right.
But like for the church itself, I think sometimes we can just get so crazy in the stuff that we offer. And here's what this huge pathway looks like. And here's what and it's just like, man, if we could just make it simple and let people know that that's okay. It's fun. This is related, not right in the center of the target, but yesterday we had we were having our initial brainstorm for building out our a master training course around a compassionate storyteller. And, one of the exercises that we went through in there is just to say, I think it would be helpful for people as we think about telling your story, telling God's story, telling your story. How does your story intersect with God's story? One of the exercises to go have them explain the story of God to a child.
Yes.
Right?
That's great.
And if you can get it into that level of language, because you have to sort through some stuff to get it to that place where you're not just borrowing all the Christianese you've ever heard, which actually doesn't mean much probably to you anyway.
Right.
They're just words that you think are associated to, and if you have to explain it to a child, you actually have to explain it.
That's
you have to
good.
get it into its like most basic form. And I don't know, that it just reminds me of that like
That's good.
We need to get stuff into its most basic form, get all of the complex stuff out of the way and just go, here's what the baseline is.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, like we're all just kids trying to learn stuff.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Right.
Like just,
Yeah, and I think more people in our churches see themselves as kids trying to learn stuff than we know.
I 100%, I 100% agree with that.
I think we pastors see their people as master's level graduate students who want them to be way up here.
Right.
And I've just learned kind of the simpler I've made it, the simpler we've talked about it, the more people who actually I thought were graduate level students have come up and said, that was the game changer for me.
Yeah.
When you said it that way, or when you guys gave that exercise or training, I'd never thought about it before. And it's like, we assume all kinds of things about all kinds of people.
We really do.
And it's like simpler, I just think is always better. And then you're going to have somebody crying from the back. It needs to be deeper. And why aren't we, doing more theology and all, which is all great stuff.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes for that one person who thinks that we make everything top shelf instead of, Anyway.
No, yes.
We're beating the horse.
That's right. Beating the horse.
The dead horse.
It's dead?
Yeah, it's dead.
Okay.
Glue factory.
Gross. All right, third one. Control kills calling from Brent Minter. This is when we're talking about multiplying. So moving from staff-driven to leader multiplying. Yeah.
What do you think of when you hear control kills calling?
I've probably killed a lot of people's calling is what I think.
Oh, wow.
if you want my honest answer. No, I think way back at the beginning, I mean, obviously as I've grown, this has changed, but I mean, I remember even like youth ministry days, and we loved it, but the manuals that we made for these people for how to do stuff.
Right.
And they're kids, so it's different, obviously.
No,
but like,
you're right.
Dude, I had like a manual on greeting. It was like a 3-ring binder that was probably like an inch thick on like how to
greet
be nice.
A human person.
How to be nice when we have youth group. But
listen, some people need that.
Well, we did kind of, but like just and of course for most people, I would say most our staff, and I'll speak for our staff, most of them are not controlling to be controlling by nature. It's not. It's a thing where it's like I think you feel like a responsibility.
Yeah.
And so the growth curve is, what do you let go to? What do you let go of? How do you develop people within the ministry? What can you, all those things. What can you let go of?
Yeah. And I think the tricky middle space is figuring out, because I do think, as we've gotten more into this calling thing and like helping people discover their calling, it's a powerful process, exercise. And I do start to realize on the back end, man, the more controls we put on stuff and go, here are the 4 programs where someone can live out their calling at Grace. Right. All of a sudden, man, we're harnessing something that wasn't meant to be harnessed. Yeah. On the other hand, and this is the tension, is parameters help. Yeah, they do. They bring clarity.
Yes.
And so I think the figuring out is, where do we put those parameters? Right. And so, like, for example, I feel like as part of our handcrafted class, we've said, okay, we're not going to tell people exactly how or where or whatever to live out their calling. We want to help them identify where it might be their primary place. But like, so one of the parameters we put on is to say, the business space, the marketplace is a place where you can live out your calling. Your neighborhood is a place where you live out your calling. We're assuming family. Yep. Everybody lives out their calling in their family. But marketplace, neighborhood, a nonprofit, or an affinity group. So the workout buddies, book club, whatever somebody's involved in, say, right now I'm going to live out my calling there. I think
church, right?
Yeah, and church. Yeah, exactly. So I think those parameters are not inhibiting. I think they're helpful,
right? Because
it helps people to clarify. We're not saying here's what you have to do.
Correct.
We're just giving parameters to say we're trying to help you think about where God has placed you right now, and where He might be calling you to step in. So anyway, I think that control versus parameters is an important tension to think about.
And to piggyback off of that, we have a group who's basically designing the quote unquote programming that's going to come out of Handcrafted, that's going to help people live out their calling.
Yes.
So those spheres are kind of our buckets. So, that's helping that team even the other night.
Yes.
Okay, these are the buckets. These are the buckets. These are the buckets. These are buckets. Keep dreaming, do stuff, think about it, whatever. But like, these are the buckets, and it helps. It just helps. Yeah, great.
And the other tension, I think, is between control and authority.
True.
Like coming under the authority of the church, is that's a thing too.
Yeah, for sure.
That these callings weren't meant to be lived out willy-nilly, whatever you think is right, and just go to it and have no accountability or no check-ins with somebody in authority over you. So I still think the church exists kind of in that space to be this kind of umbrella authority over people living out their callings within the mission of Jesus. Yeah. And so it does just become very tricky when we get overly controlling about where people can live those out.
Yeah. So good. That's good.
Yeah.
Fourth one, ask not, is my sermon worth preaching, but do I have a life worth imitating? That's from Dave Rhodes.
Jeez.
Dave Rhodes or Taylor Swift?
I don't.
Dave
If
Rhodes.
Taylor Swift had a lyric like that, I would listen to that song.
I'll find you one.
She probably does. Oh no, that's just so good, isn't it?
good.
From Rhodes, just like, and I do think, and again, this is not it's not an either or,
Sure.
because we still do want to have sermons that are worth preaching.
Of course.
But I think the mic drop moment in that is just sometimes that becomes the sole focus.
Yeah.
And we forget that our ministry goes beyond just our words; it goes to our life.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the teaching to training shift, the reason that becomes so exposing is because teachers can teach and the words kind of are separated from them. There's this middle space in between the teacher
the
and
thing
the
is over
hearer,
here.
and the thing's over here. Whereas a trainer, you're inviting people in to go copy my life.
Right.
And here's some stuff that we're talking about, and here's what I've tried. And here's what I'm inviting you to try. And it's a much closer proximity, and it does become. And again, look at Jesus, look at Paul, look at how these guys led, and it was Paul, become like me as I become like Jesus, and Jesus, follow me, and not follow my teachings, follow me. And he was inviting them into these experiences where he was doing things and then entrusting them to do the same things.
Yeah.
And it's just an important shift for.
It would be like, if you're on like a football team, forgive me.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And your trainer
Be careful, but go ahead.
and the athletic trainer was like, what's a down?
Right.
Right. Or like if you're at the gym and like a 400 pound, no shade, person holding a McDonald's bag and like a double Budweiser sip helmet walks in and is like, all right, we're going to start with the bench press. You'd be like, no.
Is there someone else?
Do I want to imitate this?
That's really good.
Or is that person trustworthy? The whole thing.
Right.
But did you like that I knew what I said down?
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I really,
Also,
it's the Travis Kelce effect, isn't it?
No, you are mistaken. Actually, it's Blue the mascot from the Indianapolis Colts. He's also in my algorithm for some reason.
What?
I'm obsessed with him. I want to go to a Colts game just to watch this mascot. Wow. He's hilarious.
These people are really effective in their marketing.
Listen.
It's amazing.
They are. And he's hilarious.
It's amazing.
Anyway, sorry.
That's all right.
Anyway, speaking of trust.
I would say like that's not just a call for pastors.
I agree.
That's an everyday person challenge because, and I know we talked about it before here, but like it's that whole Daniel situation where, where we were talking about, trust me versus test me. That, Christians today, we just want to say, hey, just trust me. Yes. Jesus is worth following. Trust me. Mm-hmm. Christianity is true. Trust me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to convince you by my arguments. Right. And the Daniel thing, as he stood up to Nebuchadnezzar, was being integrated and assimilated into Babylonian culture. When he drew the line and said, I'm not going to eat your food. Yeah. His thing wasn't trust me. His thing was test me. Yeah. Test my God. Yeah. And see if this way isn't better. Yeah. And, I think that call for Christians today is to go, let's move from trust me that my arguments are right to test me that my life is worth imitating. Yeah. And that's a different kind of impact, on the people in our lives. Mm-hmm. So
agreed.
Yeah, it's not just a pastor shift.
That's well said. That's good. Fifth one, gospel influencers are meant to be catalytically sent, not selfishly collected. Jeremy Alderman said that.
Yeah. So great. So yeah, and I think it does speak to just this like hoarding mentality in us. Is like if you get a great person that starts coming to your church, you're like, I want them, and I'm going to put them in this ministry, and this ministry, and this ministry, and you know how we do that. It's like, and then the staff are fighting over the same person, and like,
oh yeah, you look a year later, and they're like in 5 ministries and an elder. You're like, oh, what?
And burnt out along the side of the road in a ditch because we burnt them out.
Yeah.
But this shift of just going, we don't collect those people, we send them out into their mission field, I think is just a great shift.
And I think for us too, at least for me, back to the spheres. Yeah. I think for us, there is a trusting that God is going to use that process to bring the right people in
Yes.
to live out their calling. Like mine is going to be the church.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
I have a neighborhood thing, a little neighbor. It's nothing near what the church thing is.
Right.
Other people will be opposite.
Right.
But I think we have to, it puts us in a position where we can trust God to sort that out.
Yeah.
And we don't have to feel like,
Yeah.
again, it's another grab at control, right?
Yep.
That we can like
Yep.
stack the decks kind of for our ministry.
Yeah, and I think, one of the big, as you're talking about that, I think one of the big moments for us was multi-site.
Yeah, for sure.
When there was like a little baby step toward this, even though it was creating another church, it did require this open-handed approach to our folks. And so it's like, if our best worship leader at one site says, I think I'm going to the other site, or I want to, of just going, we're going to be open-handed and trust that God is going to backfill some great people in these other people that we're releasing. I've been talking to a ton of pastors these days who are even for the first time in their ministry thinking about multiple services.
Oh, wow.
Should we go from one service to two? I think that's a baby step toward this.
It is.
Is it because there's this protective thing of like, we don't want to lose what we have, and we don't want, like, we have this great thing or whatever, of just going, we need to release. We're not selfishly collecting all this stuff into one thing that we really love and like. There's a releasing, there's a sending that we have to have, that we have to embrace. Because the whole Great Commission is this idea of people being sent. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, 6 and then 7.
6 or 7. We'll see if we have time for 7.
Okay. Doers multiply activity. Developers multiply impact. This is from Shane Stacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing for me that I think about with this is, for so long, I think the thing that was like beat into our brains, this idea that like excellence is what drives, ultimately what would drive connection, would drive attraction, would drive involvement, all the things, engagement, and it can, but in this mindset, it just matters so much less, because like all that, if you can like multiply someone's impact, or even just to, if your only thing is to show people that they do have impact, that they can multiply, that's way bigger, way more important, way more lasting than, was the light red or blue.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think about the difference between addition and multiplication, that the whole, doing it yourself is growth by addition. But when you develop other people, it's growth by multiplication.
Yep, that's good. Yeah. And we can get a lot done, but.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can't multiply unless other people are involved.
Good. 7, teach your people to value their ordinary platforms as much as the Sunday platform. Jamal Williams said that.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, I love that conversation. That was just last week. Yep. But just this concept of there has been this like mystery around reaching a Sunday morning pulpit, or if I can share my testimony on a Sunday morning, or if I can sing in the band or the choir on Sunday morning, or if I can preach or whatever on a Sunday morning, that's the ultimate, and just the flipping that of going, everybody has a platform. Yeah. Your platform is actually probably more valuable than the Sunday platform in terms of just your personal impact or how many people you could impact. And so I think just helping people to see that, and it's the sacred secular divide and all that kind of stuff that we've manufactured in our head. This is sacred space, this is secular space. And if we can help people bring the sacredness in them to the secular platforms that God has already given them, man, that's where the gold is. Yeah, I agree. So I feel like that's the journey we're on. That's the journey that all of these churches that have spoken into this season are on.
Yes.
Of just going, what does it mean to equip our people to seize their ordinary platforms?
Yeah. It makes me think of, I think this was Dave or Shane. They talked about taking something from like a stained glass to a plain glass place, and that's training. So I hear, Luke 11 on a Sunday. I'm sitting at a board meeting on a Wednesday. Somebody says something. How can I take what I learned on Sunday, say it in plain language? It's a way that's like, worst case scenario is you just look wise.
Yes.
But like, bringing that into those ordinary spaces.
Yeah.
And I think too, even if it's not, I know it's exactly down the line, but like, even if you're not like, do I want to be on or in a platform on Sunday, there's also more power in leveraging your own platform in the world versus bringing somebody to watch somebody else.
That's right.
Use the Sunday platform.
That's right.
And that's fine. There's nothing
It's
wrong
fine.
with that.
It's fine.
But it's more lasting and more powerful, I think, if you can do it in your front yard or
agreed.
across the table.
Agreed.
Great. Those are great.
It's been a good season.
Choices, Derek.
Yeah, mic drop moments.
Okay. Did it. All right. So, let's move to behind the curtain. Some stuff has been happening, believe it or not, and we're still doing stuff. You can count on that. We will always be doing something. So you were gone a little bit last week and a little bit. Last week. So you went to go see Larry Osborne and do some cool stuff. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. There was a little cohort. I got the opportunity to go out through the GLN to get in a room with him. So one of the regrets of my life is you'll know that one of my heroes of the faith was a writer, an author, and professor named Frederick Buechner, and I had told myself for a decade, because he was just over I think he was in Delaware, somewhere fairly close by where we are. Held office hours in his office every week at the college that he taught at. I told myself for a decade I was going to go see him, and just tell him the impact he's had on my life, and pick his brain about a couple things. And he died, and I never did it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what an idiot! Like, so it was just kind of like one of those moments where I'm like, never again am I going to miss an opportunity to get in a room with somebody who's impacted me, even if just to tell them thank you, and even just to say, here's what you've meant to me. Like, so Larry's one of those guys for me. And he's 73. He's been a pastor for 45 years in at North Coast Church in California. I've read everything he's ever written. There's some simpatico, like we think the same in some ways.
What was his first big one?
Sticky Teams.
Yeah.
Sticky Teams. But he's written so much stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, I was reading his stuff before he even had books out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Blog posts and whatever they were. And actually, funny story. Like, I was in a graduate class at Trinity in Chicago, and was having some dysfunction on our elder team at the time. And I mentioned something to the professor, and he's like, Larry, he had just written Sticky Teams. So this was like 15, 16 years ago. And the professor at the time was like, you should call Larry Osborne. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, and I knew of him. I'd knew of his books and stuff. And he's like, no, you should really call him. So I looked up his number. I called his assistant, and just to set up a time. I'm like, hey, I just like a set up 15 minutes with Larry Osborne. I got questions about elders. He wrote a book about it. And she's like, yeah, just a second, I'll get him. And I'm like, no. Like, I had this moment of like, I'm not ready. I don't have my stuff together. Like, it was just to set up an appointment.
I'd vomit.
And he picked up the phone.
That's so cool.
Like, he picked up the phone.
Yeah.
And he was so accessible. And
that's cool.
And that just started kind of I just really admire him.
Of course.
And so anyway, had the chance to go get in a room with him with a small cohort. I requested I'm like, hey, can I ride with you? We were going to dinner.
Nice.
Can I ride with you in your car?
Good for you.
And took the time to tell him what I wanted, tell him the reason I was there. So
cool.
Anyway, so good. And he talked about this. Now, he's an extrovert and I am not. But he talked about this, and this, as well as LCBC, and it's just some other like cohort groups that I've been in. He talked about the guest experience, the guest system. And I came back, there was a pastor that came to talk to me 2 weeks ago, and he asked me a question about grace. He said, what are the most important systems for a church to get right? Yeah. And I've got a little list that I've talked about for years. The guest system, the giving system. So like what happens with a first time giver? What happens with a second time giver?
Follow up care.
The baptism system. So for us, how do people get baptized, saved, that sort of thing? Discipleship system, a leadership system. So I think those are kind of the key. Yeah. We need to have good systems around all those things. We're in a bit of upheaval right now, but we're recreating a lot of those systems.
Right.
But when Larry started talking about his guest system, it made me come back to, oh my gosh, we still need to rethink this in our new structure. What does it look like? For them, he, every 6 weeks, met with 40 of their guests in his home on Sunday afternoon.
Whoa.
Every 6 weeks for 40 whatever years.
Whoa.
But part of it is like, that's why their church grew for all those.
You can't argue with
LCBC. They still, to this point, it's like a 20,000 person church.
Yeah.
To this day, they have teams that go out and drop off a bag of homemade cookies, homemade chocolate chip cookies, on the front porch of every single first-time guest to their church. Oh, and they've been doing it for as long as Dave Ashcraft has been there.
Can't. Yep.
And it's like, there are those things, we're so fickle.
No, would I answer the door? I would not.
Correct.
But fine, go off. Yeah.
But it just reminds me of just like that process, that system up front is so crucial. And Larry said something that really caught my attention. He goes, most churches stop at first-time guests. He goes, second-time guests are way more important than first-time guests. He's like, because first-time guests, you get the people who are in from out of town, or they're never coming back. You want to be nice to them.
Yeah.
You want to do nice things for them. But like, they're not somebody who came back to your church a second time. That's a prospect. That's somebody that's very interested in what you're doing. That's somebody you want to find out what brought you back a second time, what got you here.
Yeah, that's good.
So he's like, if that process doesn't extend at least to the second guest, you don't have a process.
Right.
Because those are the important,
makes sense.
So anyway, it just re-fired me up for like how we need to be very diligent about it. Even in even the shift we're making to a more missional, and we're not an attractional church, there's still people coming.
Yeah.
And what are we doing to help make sure our guests feel welcomed, understand who we are, what we're about, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is just like a little plug for a good systems, a little plug for Larry Osborne. But, but it was really a good challenge.
That's really cool. I was just recently, it was in a church marketing discussion, and somebody, I can't remember who the person was. Shoot, I'll try to look it up. But basically, they were saying like focusing, it's kind of what you're saying, but like focusing on the first time guest, the first time they're in on a Sunday, and you're like, fill out this card to get connected.
Right.
They're not there to do that.
Not seeking
They're
connection.
not there to do that at all.
They're
there to be like, is everyone cool?
Right.
Like, am I cool? Am I going to get struck by lightning?
Right.
Like, they're not thinking about,
is the roof about to cave in?
I really wish I could find an affinity group that I could take. No, it's the person that comes back again.
Right.
Or again and again. Right. Like, it's not, and we do put a lot of stock on that first time thing. But that's good. That's really...
Yeah, it was just a good reminder. I think
great.
In the multiplication funnel invention that we're doing,
Yep.
we still can't forget about this assimilation funnel, because that's still a thing.
Yeah.
There's still people coming,
yes,
especially these days. And here's one other thing I want to say that Larry talked about. We're in a moment right now in our culture and our history as a church. And it was interesting to hear he's been around for so long. He came to Christ through the Jesus movement, like Calvary Chapel, Chuck Smith. He was in that church. He met with Chuck Smith early in his, like the movie
wild.
that they made about whole, that he was on those beaches. Like that's where he accepted Christ. So he's been through this, like one of these revival moments before. One of the funny things he said, he's like, you think the politics are bad now? Oh. He's like, we think this is a new thing, but then it was the Vietnam War, and all the old guard in the church were, didn't think thought we needed to be in the war. Yeah. All these young punks coming in thought we didn't need it, and there was riots and revolutions and all kind of stuff going on. And he's like, it was the same old crap. It was just a different issue. Jeez, anyway, that was funny, but he said, I asked him about, the moment we're in, because it does feel Gen Z is coming back to church, and the Bible sales are up, and like we're hearing all the statistics of like there is a little bit of a, and he said he's been talking about for 5 years. Oh, he's sensed he meets with tons of pastors, and he has had a sense for 5 years, and he said within this last year, it's like God has broken out. Yeah, and it's happening. Yeah. So, my question: he's been through this once before? How do we respond to that moment? That's good. He said two things. First of all, it's short-lived. Yeah. He's like, it's going to last for 3 years.
So interesting.
Or 5 years at the most.
Yeah.
This is not a forever thing. We have a moment in time, and if we have it right now, we have it right now.
I mean,
and he,
yeah.
And so what he said, we need to seize the day. We need to go with it. We need to go get souls. Souls are ready to be got. Like, go get them.
Jeez.
And put your 3 and 5 and 10 year plans on hold and do this now.
Yeah.
Because we have this moment in time right
Yeah.
now. So it was just a good.
Yeah.
That's just for free. It had nothing to do with anything else on this podcast. But I feel like I was so inspired by it. I think
for
it kind
sure.
of needs to be said of just like, this is it's not make believe. We're living through something we prayed for.
Well, yes. And other people have prayed for.
And other people have prayed for a long time.
It's definitely happening. It's no question.
Yeah.
No question. Wow. That's cool.
So, and some grandmother has been praying for a kid that's in your backyard or in your community, that she's been praying for 20 years since this kid was born, that he would come to Jesus. And you might just be the answer to that grandma's prayer. Your church can. So anyway.
That's true. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Let's close out with tips and tools. We recently, we have for a long time been encouraging our pastors on staff to take half-day retreats on a regular basis. And we just recently opened that up to staff, our whole staff. Yeah. And so you have a tool here for how to kind of best leverage a half-day personal retreat. I think this would be good for anybody. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I think people have benefit. I lived for a long time under kind of the mega church mode. It was like, well, we don't pay people to have their spiritual lives on our staff, and that
feel that
other people, right?
Yeah.
Other people live their lives and they don't get a paid half-day retreat. Why should we as the church do that for our people? And I've come around to go, because we're responsible for the spiritual lives of lots of other people, and we probably should. Yeah. We should probably make sure that our leaders are at least doing this, and so we've told them they can take company time and use it for half-day retreat every so often.
It's like if you in the workplace, you send a secretary to get better at Excel.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a training.
You're training yourself. Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I created a tool around this, and we'll include the tool for everybody who gets the email distribution, but it's basically just gives some things about how what to do before you begin, what the retreat is not. So it's not work, it's not a Bible study marathon necessarily, it's not one-sided, and it's not catch-up time. Where like, I'm going to use this to go get caught up on my stuff. So, listen, it can be. It can be.
No, I'm just saying, that's hard. That's the hardest
thing. It's a real temptation. Yeah. So basically, the tool is around 8 creative half-day retreat ideas.
Cool.
And so, there's a Bible study retreat. There's a personal planning retreat. There's a prayer and silence retreat. One of my favorites is a creative retreat. You'll appreciate this. So where it engages your hands and your imagination. So, cool. Choose a medium. So people bring a musical instrument or write a song or write a poem or, So anyway, there's 8 ideas like that with a little bit of build out around each one about how to build a half day around that particular idea. So again, we're including it in the email, something that our team's been using for a little bit, but thought I'd open it up to others.
Love it. It's really good. Love it. Okay. That is it for today. And that is it for a bit. Probably in the
next fall, probably.
Next fall?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, cool. Ish. Okay. Great. Yeah. Cool.
You're just finding out about that.
No, that sounds awesome. I thought it was going to be the spring.
No, I think I'm heading out on a little bit of sabbatical this year.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, I'm going to be out of pocket for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So
cool.
Probably next fall.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, if you like this episode, you like the season, please rate it, share it, pass it around while we're not around. That'd be awesome. You can catch up on what you've missed if you want to as well. You can find, like Derek said, detailed show notes or related resources at dereksanford.com/reinventing church. That's where you can also subscribe to that weekly newsletter. He'll be doing stuff with that newsletter throughout, even though we're not, doing a podcast. So there'll be tools and posts coming through there on a regular basis. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Danielle.
See ya. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks for co-hosting. You're great.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.